This is a poem called Holy and Unhindered by Sarah R. Speed. I am sure it is important to close your eyes, to pray on your knees, to fling yourself into deep reverence and even deeper humility. I am sure that the Spirit is close when we dress up, when we sing the descant line, when we murmur the words with a sincere and hopeful heart. And I am sure that when you moonwalk through your living room in soft wool socks, when you cackle loudly enough for the entire restaurant to hear, when you squeal into the phone and make pancakes for dinner, when you plunge your hands into the dirt and talk to the sparrows, when you make a mess of communion, breadcrumbs all around the table, or when you allow yourself an undone, unhindered, unpolished sort of joy, that the Spirit loves that just as well. The angel said, "Do not be afraid, I am bringing you joy." We humans have spent a lot of time focusing on the fear. Don't forget, God is also in the joy. My friends, we have a God who came as an infant, a gurgling and giggling infant. We have a God who came and became a toddler who was tickled and erupted into laughter. Sue Monk Kidd once reflected on seeing God as a playmate, a revelation that shattered her overgrown-up seriousness and liberated a joyful child within. As our kids often teach us, if we allow it, joy can simplify our perspectives and make us more receptive to the wonder and playfulness of God. This isn't something that happens in place of the difficulties of the world or in an attempt to wash over or ignore the very real and deep pain that we experience in life, the very real fear that we experience in our world. Yet joy can be a companion alongside those things. Joy can be a resting place, a respite from the difficulties and darkness of the world. And so I wonder, what would it look like to embrace laughter as a spiritual practice this week? What would it look like to embrace unhindered joy, even in the small, simple things, as our spiritual practice today and this week? So I want to give us a moment to maybe do that in a quieter way than we have this morning, since some of us experience joy in very loud ways, but some of us experience it in very still small ways as well. So on the front of your bulletin, you'll see a piece of artwork. It's by the Reverend Lyle Gwynn Garrity, and it's entitled, "Let All Creation Dance." And so I'm going to invite us to center ourselves by taking a deep breath and relaxing our bodies as best we can. And as we look at this piece of artwork, open ourselves up to God's voice. Continue breathing deeply as you read the image. In this moment, simply notice the visual qualities of what you see: colors, line, shape, form, space, texture. What do you see? And how does that image make you feel? Now take a deeper look. What parts of the image are your eyes most drawn to? What parts of the image did you quickly brush by or overlook? And I'll invite you to use your imagination as you imagine yourself in this piece. Where would you be? And how would you interact with what surrounds you? As you stay in this quiet place, meditating on this artwork, listen to these words from the artist. This quilt square collage shows the ripple effect of joy dancing throughout all creation. In the Nativity story, the birth of Christ is meant to bring universal joy and good news to all people, especially those like the shepherds who might be estranged, undervalued, or marginalized. Joy greets the Magi during their long and arduous journey, and when the star stops, they know that they are close. In addition to the Christmas story, this piece is also inspired by the rich poetry of praise found throughout many Hebrew scriptures. For those enduring exile, God brings exaltation that multiplies in Isaiah 9. The psalmist sings praise for the God of the mountains and the hills, as well as the highest heavens and the starry skies in Psalm 148. And the prophet Isaiah casts a new vision of people returning home as the trees clap their hands and the mountains and hills sing shouts of praise in Isaiah 55. For the focal point of the design, I chose an 8-pointed star, which is symbolic in many cultures and religious traditions. In Judeo-Christian traditions, the number 8 symbolizes new beginnings, as 7 is the number of completion. And so in this image, I wanted the landscape to feel refracted, perhaps like a prism, or even a broken mirror. The land rejoices despite forces that try to break it. The horizon expands into all directions. There is no east or west, north or south. The arms of creation reach into the cosmos. In between the stars and moons, fruit trees bear their harvest and clap their hands. And so in many ways, this piece is a song of praise as well as a song of resistance. Creation cannot be quieted. If praise is not on your lips this day, do not fear, for we can trust that all of creation is dancing on our behalf. Now, as you've heard the artist's reflection, take one more moment to wonder if you identify with her reflections. How does hearing her intention influence how you see this piece? And how is this imagery cohesive with the scriptures that we have read today? Thanks be to God that all creation sings and that there is joy as a companion and a resting place in a very weary world. Amen.